It was a typical day at the courthouse in downtown Atlanta. The sun was streaming softly through the tall windows, casting warm patterns on the polished wooden floors. People were gathered, waiting for the next case to be called. The atmosphere was quiet, but heavy as it always was in courtrooms where serious matters were decided. Sitting calmly in the defendant's chair was Marcus Ellis, a black man in his mid-50s. His navy blazer was simple but neat, and he carried himself with a quiet dignity that made you look twice. Marcus wasn't loud or flashy, he never needed to be. You could tell by the way he held himself that he had lived through a lot and come out stronger. The room was tense. Across from him stood Officer Daniels, a white police officer known around town for his tough approach and quick temper. The tension between them was almost visible. Suddenly, without warning, Officer Daniels lost his patience. He shoved Marcus hard right there in the courtroom, in front of everyone. The sound of the shove echoed faintly in the room, but the gasp that followed was loud and immediate. People jumped to their feet, pulling out their phones to capture the shocking moment. You could see the shock on their faces, a mix of disbelief and outrage. But Marcus, he didn't flinch, didn't cry out or make a sound. Instead, he sat up straighter, looked straight ahead, and remained calm like a rock amid the storm. That moment marked the beginning of a story that would ripple through the city, touching hearts and sparking a movement. Let me take you back a little. Years before that courtroom incident, Marcus Ellis was a firefighter. Not just any firefighter, he was the kind who ran into burning buildings when others ran out. There was one fire that tested him like nothing else. A massive warehouse blaze had broken out on the edge of the city. Flames roared, smoke thickened, and walls started crumbling. It was chaos, but Marcus stayed calm. He crawled through smoke-filled corridors, guided by the sound of trapped voices. One by one, he found people pinned beneath debris or too disoriented to escape on their own. He pulled them out, carried some on his back, and led others through the safest paths he could find. In that fire, Marcus saved over 30 lives. He was awarded medals for his bravery, but that wasn't what mattered to him. Courage, Marcus believed, was just doing what needed to be done, even when the risk was high and fear was real. Back to the courtroom. The video of Officer Daniels shoving Marcus exploded online. It spread like wildfire. Suddenly, everyone knew Marcus's name, and everyone was asking the same question. Why would a man like Marcus, a black man and a decorated hero, be treated so poorly by a white police officer? Officer Daniels tried to justify his actions, saying Marcus had been disruptive, but no one bought it. Marcus's lawyer, a white woman known for her passion for justice, stood before the judge. She spoke calmly but firmly about Marcus's heroism, his calm demeanor, and his strength in the face of injustice. She said, "Marcus isn't just a man on trial. He's a man who's faced fire and tragedy and still stands tall with dignity." Outside the courthouse, Marcus faced another kind of challenge. He lived quietly with his daughter Emily, a bright, young black woman who adored him. Retirement wasn't easy. After years of risking his life, the world seemed to have moved on without him. But Marcus never gave up on justice. At night, he'd sit on his porch, watching the stars and thinking about courage. He remembered something his father had told him long ago. Courage isn't about not feeling fear. It's about doing what's right even when you're scared. As Marcus's story spread, the community began to rally. Vigils were held. Neighbors, churches, and civil rights groups came together. People of all races stood united for justice. The police department launched an internal investigation into Officer Daniels. More complaints surfaced, revealing a troubling pattern of behavior. Pressure grew, and Officer Daniels was suspended. Marcus was invited to speak at community gatherings. Calm and dignified, he told the crowd. Standing up for what's right isn't easy. But dignity and courage, those are the things that keep us strong. We have to protect each other with strength and grace. The legal case against Officer Daniels moved forward, but Marcus wasn't seeking revenge. He wanted something more important. A reminder to everyone that true courage doesn't always shout. Sometimes It's quiet, steady, powerful. As the sun set over Atlanta, Marcus returned to his simple life. But the impact of that courtroom moment would be felt far beyond that day. It was a lesson for all of us, that real heroes don't always wear medals or shout their stories. Sometimes, they just stand tall.